everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica and today's video is going to be on this Igari clean girl makeup look. This is also the first kind of like advice column slash girl chat type of video that I'm doing. I asked you guys to send over some questions on Instagram a few days ago, so we will be getting into those. And this video is also made in partnership with Peripera. I've been obsessed with this like jelly lip look lately, so if you want to get ready together, then just keep watching. So I want to do a very skin focused look today, so we're going to start with sunscreen. I was too excited to try a bunch of new skincare products I got recently, so I made the mistake of trying multiple at a time, which is why I started breaking out. But my skin is finally clearing up now. It's been about like 3 days since I started breaking out. Mixing my Tint foundation with my YSL All Hours Precise Ingles Concealer. This is in the shade LW7 and it's a very good warm toned concealer. That's why I like mixing it. You can see. So a trick that I like to do when I am breaking out for a new skincare product and I don't know what's causing it is I'll just cut out everything and then go back to just cleanser and moisturizer, and usually my skin just starts clearing up right away. If you try to continue using all of your active ingredients, it'll just take way longer for your skin to recover. So for cleanser, I've been using the Used to the People one, and then for moisturizer, I restarted using the Belief True Cream Aqua Bomb. I forgot how good that stuff is. I also asked you guys to send over some questions on Instagram for a girl chat video, so let's pick out our first question. So the first question is how to be confident about yourself without worrying about others. So I used to have this issue where I would really compare myself to others all the time, and especially with social media, it makes it so much easier to constantly compare yourself to others, you know, like they just seem like they have the perfect lives. What really helped me with that was not comparing myself to other people and where I am currently. I started comparing myself to my future self. There's this thing that I saw on TikTok. Every day, wake up and think about what your ideal version of yourself would do and become that person. When you're comparing yourself to other people, these are people that you cannot realistically become, right? You're never gonna be able to be that other person that you're comparing yourself to, but you can become a better version of yourself or your ideal version of yourself, right? This way of thinking not only helps you stop worrying about other people and comparing yourself to them, but it also helps you become a better version of yourself. And when you think in that way, you are constantly working towards your goals. It's just like a mindset shift. Like for example, if I'm like, oh, I want to be the girl that runs a marathon, like I want to be the type of girl who wakes up early. All you have to do is start being that girl, like just start waking up earlier. I'm not sure if I explained it really well here, but thinking in this way just helps you turn the ideal version of yourself into a bunch of actionable steps and goals that you can realistically achieve. Like no amount of goals can help you turn into a different person, right? But you do have the ability to change your own actions. So if you imagine the ideal version of yourself and take the steps to become that person, you can realistically become that version of yourself. I posted this like really glass skin look recently and you guys were asking what highlighter it was, but actually it was this lip tint that I used as a blush. This is the Peripera Ink Mood Glowy Tint, which has a very lightweight, watery texture. You can use it as a cheek or lip stain, or you can layer it for a juicy, shiny, glossy lip. Because of its glowy formula, it works so well as a cheek stain to get that healthy glass skin look. And because this lip tint leaves a stain, it lasts so much longer than cream blushes. The shade I'm using here is number 10, Captivating Pink, which is a cool toned pink. And then I'm also going to mix in shade number 3. 3 Rosamine is one of the 3 most popular shades. It's a deep orange fig color with a mix of warm and cool nude tones. Even though the color is very vibrant, the nude tones make it kind of muted, so I think it makes a great My Lips But Better color. You can sheer out or build up any of these colors to make them more pigmented, and this is what the stain looks like underneath. I'll also swatch the other 2 most popular shades. Number 2 Coral Influencer is a bright mix of orange and pink coral tones. This color is recommended for people with a spring color palette. And finally, number 5 Cherry So Wet is a cool, vibrant pink that you can sheer out or build up to a bright cherry pink. I think this will be such a pretty color to put in the center of your lips for that pop of color. And here's a comparison of those 3 most popular shades. Peripera's Ink Mood Glowy Tint is one of Korea's best-selling glowy lip tints at the moment and are already pretty affordable, but they're having an up to 40% off sale right now, so make sure to shop now before they sell out. I'm just going to use that to hydrate my lips for now, and then I'll do the rest of my lip combo later. I'm going to be very selective with where I set my makeup because I still want that glowy look. Next, I'm going to do my brows, and I've been loving this product. This is the Unleashia Shaper Pomade Eyebrow Fixer in number 1 Clear. If you like the soap brow or laminated brow look, this is your friend. I used to love brow waxes, but with those you have to use a spoolie, and it's impossible to clean those because once the brow wax hardens, you basically have to throw away the whole spoolie. But this one is like a glue, and because it comes in a tube like this, you don't have to clean it. It's literally like a mascara tube. I like to flatten it. And this does stay all day, but I will say with this product, you have to be careful because it will flake if you use too much. Every time you use it, make sure you're like brushing off the excess product on the tube like this. And then after that, I like to go in and shape the hairs at the top. You can see it gives you that really clean line at the top. Here's before and after. Next, I'm going to use a brow pencil to just clean it up and fill in any gaps. Next, I'm going to use eyeliner. So I'm using my Clio Extreme Gel Presso liner in shade number 3. We want the eye makeup to be very simple, very clean. But the next question is, somebody said, please talk about periods. This is actually something I learned this year. But if you get blood stains on any clothes or your underwear or anything, don't wash it with hot water. Wash it with cold water. Cold water will help the blood come out, and if it's a fresh stain, the blood will come out immediately. Like, it'll be like it wasn't even there. But don't use hot water because heat will basically cook the blood into your clothes. If you put it in the washer and then it's still not out, don't put it in the dryer. But yeah, that's how you get rid of period stains. The next question is, I'm all about girl solidarity, but how to deal with girls who want to always one-up you? Maybe it's because I grew up with sisters, but I really value female friendships and relationships in my life. And if anybody were to taint that, I think I would just immediately cut them out. There are gonna be a lot of female friendships that work out and a lot of female friendships that don't work out. It's just like with any relationship, right? Next, I'm using Peripera's Milky Brown Lip Liner, and I'm just using that to lightly diffuse the upper eyeliner. See how it just gives that like a soft, rosy type of look? And then I'm also gonna bring it down here. I'm gonna set that with an eyeshadow so that it doesn't smudge. I'm gonna put on some double eyelet tape. These are already cut in half, which I usually do with my own, so these are really useful. The next question is very long, so I feel like this person really needs advice. In my 5-year relationship with my boyfriend, I feel like a mom, constantly urging my boyfriend to care for his health. For example, drinking more water instead of Coke, starting eating vegetables, being more active, etc. But he does nothing. I'm also the one in this relationship who suggests activities or outings. He rarely takes the initiative to propose ideas or plan things for us. When I bring my concerns up, he dismisses it with a casual, "That's just how I am." I've played with the thought of breaking up with him a few times before, but there were also times where he's caring and he was also the only person who supported me in my lowest moments. It's just my patience is waning as I can't envision playing the role of his mom forever. How would you handle this situation with your partner? Honestly, you have brought it up before and he is not willing to change and he's not going to change. And so the only actions you have control over are your own. So you can only choose whether you leave him or you stay with him. So this would only come down to like whether you accept the relationship as is and continue being that caretaker role. But it sounds to me like you're already like pretty fed up with how he's been acting and it's just a matter of time before things actually end. Off topic, but I know the girls following me on Instagram are so pretty because not only have I seen your profiles, right? Like I've looked at some of them when you guys DM me, but whenever I do like the send me confession stories and you guys are asking about dating advice, it's like, oh, this rapper DM'd me, this K-pop trainee is messaging me, stuff like that. I'm just like, oh my god, like you guys are actually hot. Like, I mean, duh, I see the stories that you guys tag me in when you do the makeup recreations. I love these lashes. I've been getting so many questions about them lately and people think they're lash extensions. They're not. They're literally just these nameless ones I got on Yes Style. My under eyes are kind of creasing, so I'm gonna use a pink eyeshadow. Maybe I should have made the Igari makeup more vibrant and brought it closer to my under eyes. What do you think? I feel like it looks more vibrant in real life. This is shade number 4 and it's like a brighter pink. This is a very, very cool tone pink. This has such a watery, thin formula. It feels like skincare. It feels like literally like I'm putting a serum on. But yeah, now that's super, super pink. So I'm using my KVD taupe shadow. I don't know if they renamed this because I can't find this exact color's name anymore. I really hope they didn't discontinue it because it's like one of the most cool toned contour colors I've ever seen. I'm just gonna contour slightly. I don't want it to be too heavy because this is like such a light makeup look. I feel like this type of makeup look is constantly being rebranded. It started as clean girl makeup and then it became sort of I'm cold makeup, which is just same thing but adding blush. Now it's Igari makeup, so it's like the same thing but with a little more blush, which I'm not opposed to. Like, I love this type of makeup, so. And then I'm gonna use eyeshadow as a highlighter. Oh, also, do you guys like my nails? I posted on Instagram recently and a lot of people were surprised that I did them myself. These are gel extensions, but whenever people ask to see the other hand, I'm like, please don't look. Genuinely, there's no cream blush or highlighter that can give you this effect because it has that gloss and has that like long-lasting lip stain. I'm just obsessed with this as a cheek tint. So pretty. And look, I'm gonna do a stamp test, so let's do it here. Nothing. So I think after it sets, it's just good. Moving on to the lips. So not many people know this, but you can use any of Peripera's lip tints as a lip stain, and they actually recommend doing this for the most long-lasting results. So apply it to your lips. I love this color. It's such a pretty muted pink. After 30 seconds, remove the excess product, and then you should get a really pretty stain. Let me show you. No product. And then after, you can reapply another layer using shade number 4, which is a more vibrant pink. 1 layer, 2 layers, and then here's the 3rd layer. Unfortunately, shades number 4 and 10 are being discontinued, but you can get a very similar color using 3 and 5. Next, I'm applying a pink shadow to my Cupid's bow. And then I think we'll do a little bit of concealer around the lips. This formula is really thin and watery, so even after 3 layers, it doesn't feel heavy and it's not even sticky. I'm obsessed. I feel like this is such a perfect jelly lip look. We're just gonna do one more finishing touch, which is a mole right here. And this is the completed look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks again to Peripera for sponsoring this video. If you like this lip combo, remember to check out their Ink Mood Glowy tints, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!